Good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Today is Saturday, January 11th, and I'm Chris Allen, here after the mega snow, the big, big, big snow. Well, okay. So it didn't turn out to be quite that big. But I took solace this morning that I wasn't the only one that kind of missed it. Okay. Uh, it just underperformed. Okay. I know it's like, oh, here's your way of just kind of passing the buck or whatever. It underperformed. Well, it did. I mean, the first little hint that it wasn't going to be quite the snowstorm that we were predicting was that it took so long to get it going. That should have been a clue right there. But it didn't hit me at first. I thought, okay, well, there's a lot of dry air out there and it's just taking its time. But eventually, once it gets going, and as I explained here yesterday, once the columns get saturated from top to bottom, then naturally it's just going to start snowing, and it's going to keep snowing, and it's going to be piling up and accumulating and, all that stuff. But it just did not. Well, it did for some and it didn't for others. Here in Bowling Green, it just did not really do that much. Okay. But here's Jerry Embry says 3 inches of snow in the holler. Well, we all know where Holler, Kentucky is. So thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Down in the holler. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, it's one of those situations where it's okay, the haves and the have-nots. But if you want to see, this is unofficial, but this is the only thing I could find to show kind of a general layout of how much snow everyone picked up. And officially, the airport here in Bowling Green, where they take the official precipitation measurements, showed 2.2 inches of snow. 2.2. And we were calling for potentially 4 to 6 or even higher. But it just was one of those things that it just didn't quite pan out. Here's Delilah, who said, "Good morning, Chris. The snow was beautiful falling. We got about 4 inches in Cleveland." Wow. Way to go, Delilah. That would be right up in, let me see, right there on the Warren County, Edmonson County line as you go up Highway 101. Before you get to Brownsville. That's where Cleveland is. So that's good, but you're up on a hill. So you probably did get a little bit more. You see down toward Allen County, Scottsville, Franklin, Simpson County, further south, 1 to 3 in spots, but then there were other spots that picked up a little bit more than that. 2 to 4 back west of us, pretty much around us, but somehow it got a little bit lighter once it started moving in here, and it was that dry air that it had to overcome. And that was just, it took too long, and it was a problem, and therefore we just didn't get that really big snow that we thought we were going to get. Now, the Weather Service will start to get some other official totals in later this morning, but that gives you a general clue there. So here's the view outside this morning. This is, of course, live from the Plano Cam. and looking right outside my studio window here at home in the suburb of Bowling Green called Plano. If you're not familiar with it, but you can see that it's a nice coating, and it is trackable. And because we did get down into the 20s last night, then there's some icy spots, and even some of the back roads, bridges and overpasses and things like that. Be careful because it's slick. Don't let the lack of snow fool you. It's slick, and especially where the cars have been running all day yesterday on it, and now everything has frozen back over. Then it's liable to be pretty slick and hazardous this morning. But that's the view outside. Cloudy. There still may be a passing flurry. I wouldn't be surprised to see a flurry or two as we get on into the day. Just be aware of that, okay? All right, let's move on to, I want to get to the radar. Let me see what we've got here. Let me call that up, and we get the radar going. This needs to go away. Remove. Okay. Oh, where did my radar go? Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. I forgot to click a button. There it is. Okay. So here's a look at the radar, and you can see there are some leftover flurries hanging around this morning, especially off to the north. And of course, when you get flurries like this, they're very light, and it's hard for the radar to really pick up on them. But you can see they're just kind of floating around there around the metro Louisville area. Of course, around the Doppler radar sites, which are these little blue circles here. That's a radar in Nashville. There's a radar for Campbell, a radar in Paducah, one up here north of Evansville. And then, of course, the one that's around Fort Knox, Louisville, south of Louisville, picking up on some of those light snow flurries and snow showers. Those are going to continue to push off to the south and east. I'll put this into motion, and there you see they just keep on scooting off to the south and east. There's not a whole lot of activity, just enough to where you can visibly see some of the snowfall, snowflakes coming down. Let's take a look at satellite. I'm curious as to, back here to the west. Now, this is all clear sky back here, far western Kentucky, Mayfield. You go to Dyersburg, Tennessee, Jackson, Memphis, which picked up a really good snow yesterday. They got a lot more than we did. They're clear this morning. And with that clear sky and the snowpack, well, that really is really cold in those areas this morning. Here in Bowling Green, southern Kentucky, of course, as I just showed you from the Plano cam, we've got lots of low clouds and occasionally some flurries that are showing up out there. And don't be surprised if you get a little brief snow shower just as a leftover, as a reminder of what came through yesterday. Kind of a like, hey, you didn't pick up that much snow, did you? It's like, okay, we get it. Here's a look at temperatures from the Kentucky Mesonet Network this morning. And we are seeing, looks like a lot of 20s across the area, close to 30 in some cases. 29s down here in southern Kentucky. We zoom in a little bit here. 29s around Bowling Green, 30 over toward Morgantown, 26, 28, 29. You get the idea. Wind, that could be an issue. There are winds coming, you can see kind of variable out of the north and west and then southwest. So we've got this little weak little upper system that's passing through. And so the winds are, coming out of the mostly westerly winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, but there could be some higher gusts up to 10 or so in some cases. And that could produce a little bit of a wind chill. Yeah, there you see some of the wind chill numbers in the low to mid 20s across the area. So when you're going out this morning, if you're going out, dress colder than for what the temperature or your thermometer shows, because it is a little chilly at times when the wind blows. All right, let's go to the maps for the next several days, and I'll show you there what's going to happen. We've got this little bit of leftover moisture that's hanging around, especially eastern Kentucky and the Cumberland Plateau. We go into this afternoon. All of that begins to push away a little bit more. High pressure begins to build in tonight. It will be partly cloudy to mostly clear, and that's going to allow the temperature to drop to about 20. We're going to get up to 32 today, right at the freezing mark, and then drop to 20 tonight. So whatever does a little bit of melting, if possible today, will freeze up again tonight and therefore cause a few more slick spots. Here we go into early Sunday. There may be some fog around the Nashville area. Here comes another little system. This is the one that I mentioned that on Monday could bring a few flurries. And the models have been going back and forth on whether that's actually going to happen or not. Here is 6 a.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. Sunday, and notice the Nashville forecast office is putting flurries in their forecast, and we don't have it in ours. Our forecast comes from Louisville all the way down to the Tennessee border, but they're not including flurries. In fact, in their discussion this morning, they said that they just feel like that from what they see, it's not going to be much of a deal. It's going to be pretty dry as that front comes through. But you can't discount the possibility that there could be a flurry or two. You got a little bit here, southern Illinois, and then you got a little bit here around the Nashville area. So this would be Sunday night into Monday morning when that front comes through. But as you see here, it is showing dry. But somebody out there could get a flurry. That's it. Flyby flurry. Here's Tuesday morning. Here we go into Wednesday morning. High pressure in control. Some of the coldest air coming in behind that front on Tuesday into Wednesday. We could be looking at possible single-digit lows for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Keep that in mind. Another little disturbance may put out a little bit of light snow in parts of Ohio and West Virginia, far eastern Kentucky on Thursday. And here we go into next Friday. Pretty quiet. That end of that disturbance, or that side of that disturbance, putting out a little bit of light snow northeast of us. High pressure sitting over about the Nashville area. But I want to show you that out further west, here comes the next system. Bears watching. Got an upper and almost the same kind of setup that we had a Gulf of Mexico moisture that is going to stream northward. Now, this is as far as I can go on this timeline to show you. But if we were to see Saturday, we would see moisture heading north, and this upper wave, this long wave trough coming in from the west. And we might be looking at yet another winter system by next Saturday, a week from today. If all of that comes together, it's a possibility. So that's just to give you a heads up. Even though you can't see it yet, some of the models are hinting that that's a possibility. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Okay, here's a look at the blender, and we go, I said 32. This shows 34 today. I call for 20 tonight. It's showing 22. Then we go 40 or near 40. Let's say near 40. for your Sunday tomorrow. Then here comes that little system on Monday with the colder air. We go 31 on Monday, maybe 32. Tuesday, I'm actually going 28. They're showing 31, but that front's going to come on through and look what it does to the temperatures. 13 and then 31 Tuesday to 11. This is where we could possibly see single digit lows Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. This may be a little too warm, what they're showing here, but it could be colder than that for some of you, like 8, 9, 10 degrees. Then we go 28 on Wednesday, but then we jump back to near 40. By Thursday, 46. Now, listen, that's exactly where we're supposed to be as far as a normal high temperature for this time of the year. 46. We have been in the deep freeze. And so we look at that 46 as almost like springtime. If you think about it, 46 will feel good. 45 next Saturday. And that's when I think here comes that next system. Some of the models hinting at a system coming in 45 to 29. It's cold enough that we could see another winter system, and then maybe 38, a few degrees above freezing on Sunday, next Sunday, and then staying below freezing, or pretty much below freezing after that, into Monday and Tuesday, the 20th and the 21st of January. So, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of systems worth watching out there that I'm going to be watching all this week to see, what actually develops. So, yeah, there you go. That's pretty much what I have for you on this Saturday morning. Thank you for checking in this morning and for watching and trusting me with your weather. And anytime you need to know the forecast, I put it in my back pocket instead of laying it here, but the phone, download the News 40 weather app, which, you can do right there, right below me, beneath the Plano cam. You can see that circle. Just, open up your phone, turn on your camera app and hold it up to that QR code. And you get this little thing that shows up here. And there's a link right there. Right there. See, it went away, but you just click that link and it'll take you to where you can download the News 40 weather app. You set it up the way you want it, the alerts that you want, when you want them. Radar is always updated. You don't have to wait for me or wait for us to be on TV. It's there 24 hours a day. You set your phone up for alerts. If you want to be warned or certain things, it will know where your phone is. And if you're in a polygon for a warning or for a watch or an advisory, and it'll pop it on for you. And it'll say, hey, I just woke up your phone. Now you need to pay attention to what we're telling you. A lot of people signed up for it before these last two winter storms. And then you know what comes next. Severe weather. I like to say that it's always severe weather season. We don't have seasons of severe weather anymore. I've come to that conclusion. I'm not saying it's because of climate change or because of global warming or any of that stuff. It's just that's the pattern that we're in. It's always, I want you to think this way. It is always severe weather season in Southern Kentucky. It's not that way other places, but here in Southern Kentucky, it is always severe weather season. I want you to always be ready because anything can happen. After this, it could warm up and we get storms. Who knows? It's happened before. Have a great Saturday. Be careful out there. Thank you for watching, and God bless.